Good evening, good evening, good evening. My brothers and sisters, come on in, come on in. It is dinner time with your brother Tony. I hope that you have some room in your soul to enjoy some of this good soul food that I'm about to serve you up with at the dinner table. I hope that you all had a very, very good day, my brothers and sisters. So now it's time to relax with it is dinner time. My brother and sister, your brother Tony, he feels so good sitting at the dinner table and serving you some of this good soul food. You just don't know how much I enjoy anticipating the moment of being with you so we can chop it up together at the dinner table. If this is your first time at the dinner table, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk on relationships. I talk on relationship specifically about a man and a woman that has God as the foundation of the relationship. When I say having God as the foundation of the relationship, as you know, my brother and sister, God, he is the one that came up with the term relationships. He is the author of relationship. So when I talk about relationship, it's spiritual based, and we can go all the way back to the book of Genesis when we seen how God created this thing called relationship. As you know, by going back to Genesis, he started off when he created the man Adam and blew in him the breath of life, and he had a very unique relationship with Adam before he created the woman. Secondly, he created the woman with the rib from the man. And when God created the woman, he represented the woman back to the man Adam. And in the presence of God, Adam said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call a woman because she came from man. How you doing, Sister Monica Harden? And how you doing, Sister Flo? I see your John haircut down there. Thank you for coming, sit down at the dinner table. Come on in, my brothers. Come on in, my sister. We got plenty of room at the dinner table. We got plenty of good soul food, okay? Now back to what I was saying. When it comes to a relationship, my brother and sister, is basically from God's point of view. It's not from Tony's point of view. It's from God's point of view. So when I talk to you, my brothers and sisters, I talk to you basically on spiritual thing. Now I'm going to show you some contrast between the spiritual and the physical, right? Or the carnal, okay? So with that said, if you believe in a relationship other than that what you see in the book of Genesis, you have what is called a free will. You can do whatever you choose to do, but I prefer to do it God's way. So if I prefer to do it God's way and you disagree with me, by all means, you could disagree with me, but by you disagreeing with me, you disagreeing with God because God, the one who created the relationship. When you look at the book of Genesis, he started off with a man and he started off with a woman. Now, if you look at it some other type of way, you, as a matter of fact, you could go to the Bible yourself and see how God started off the relationship. But it's up to you. You got a free will. But those of you that are coming to the dinner table, you know clearly where I come from when it comes to a relationship. By the way, I talk on two different platforms. I talk on the Tube and I talk on the book. I may make a reference to some of the brothers and sisters from the Tube. Those of you that are on the book, you may not see their comments, but I see it. And those of you that's on the book, when I make a comment to you, some of those of you that are on the Tube, you can't see that comment, but we are brothers and sisters here, okay? And I want to encourage you, brothers and sisters, you can talk them on to one another because we family here. Long as you talk about what topic we're talking about. So don't go way left field and start talking about something else. We're going to concentrate on the topic that's on the menu for tonight. And with that said, my brother, and with that said, my sister, we about to get in on what's on the menu. And what's on the menu tonight? She needs to feel that you love her only. That's what we're going to expound on, not explain, but that's what we're going to expound on at the dinner table tonight. She needs to feel that you love only her. So Brothers, I want you to sit closer to me tonight at the dinner table. Sister, if you don't mind, will you move a little down so the brothers could hear this? I'm about to talk on behalf of all you good sisters out there, okay? And brothers, I need to educate some of you. If you don't, I'm not saying that you're illiterate, but I need to educate you on what is called the woman. Adam is the one that when God created this being, Adam was the one that called the female the woman. So we're going to talk about the woman. As we all know, and I always say this, and not only my word, but it's in God's word, it states clearly that the man was not created for the woman, but the woman was created for the man. It also states in God's word, as it is written too, that God said it's not good for man to be alone. I will make for him a helpmeet. So during this particular conversation, I have went over this before, but I got to talk about it again. God is the one, my brothers. God is the one, my sister, that made the statement, it's not good for man to be alone. So if God made this statement, even though the man, going back to Adam, he had a unique relationship with God. God is the one who says it's not good for man to be alone, even though God and Adam had a deep relationship. So God created this being called a woman so Adam and Eve could relate on their level. You understand? So God purposely created the woman for the man. Now, if God purposely created a woman for a man, and brother, if God calls you to find a good woman, it was not by accident or coincidence. God strategically calls you to find a certain woman. So the question is, brother, what you going to do with a woman when God bring a woman up to you? And what I mean by God bring a woman up to you, you, brother, like I always say, you have to pray that that woman is strictly from God. Do not take it upon yourself to think that that woman is from God. You need to ask God before God present a woman to you. You need to ask God to handpick the woman for you. So, brother, when God handpicked the woman for you, don't give him no long list of how the woman need to look and be. Leave that up to God, because God gonna get the perfect match for you. As you, brother and sister, know, we got a lot of dating sites out there, right? But even though we have a whole lot of dating sites out there and stuff, God is the best matchmaker, my brothers. God is the best matchmaker, my sister. So you got to understand it. Take this to heart, my brothers. She needs to feel that you love only her. And the key word is only. A woman has to feel that you love only her. She does not need to feel that she's competing with another woman or women. That's what you're going to have to instill on that woman, brother, that comes into your life. She has to feel that she is the only woman that is the apple of your eyes. Take note. She got to feel like she's the only one. She's the apple of your eyes. Now, we're going to go to God's word. When we go to God's word, we're going to Proverbs 31:29. 31:29, 31:29. As it is written, men and women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Listen to that, brother, in Proverbs 31:29. Men and women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Let me tell you this, brother. When God bring the right woman into your life, you need to tell her, men and women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Brother, when God bring the right woman to you, that particular woman that God bring to you, you will know without a shadow of a doubt that any woman or women that you had in the past, that particular woman that God brings to you, how you doing, Sister Pamela P. Lord? that particular woman that God bring to you, brother, she surpassed them all. It ain't but one her. So, brother, when God bring the right woman to you, don't mess it up. It's hard, brothers. It's very hard to find a woman that is complementary to you. You are a man, she is a woman. You are male, she is a female. Brother, if you mess it up, you're going to find, if you mess up your relationship with a good woman that God brought to you, there's no substitute for her. If you mess up and she get pulled away from you, you know what you're going to find yourself doing? You're going to find yourself searching for a replacement. But you cannot replace a good woman. Everybody is replaceable. But the woman that God designed for you, brother, she is not replaceable. Because when God brings the right woman to you, she's the top of the line for you. She got to be the apple of your eyes. Sister Flo said, when God brings the right woman, don't mess it up, brother. That's right, brother. Believe me, don't mess it up. Because if you mess it up, you going to see that good woman on the arms of another man because of some discretion you have or something that you did to cause her to go away. Let me tell you this, my brother. If God brings a good woman to you, she is going to try to work it out with you. She is going to go through the ups and downs with you. I'm talking about with life. But you don't supposed to bring no outside stuff and put a burden on your woman. You see, brother, when a woman come in, she is your helpmate. She's supposed to help you with whatever purpose that God put in your heart. So you don't supposed to be putting no burdens on no woman. She's your helpmate. She's your best friend. And I'm going to tell you to my brother, when God bring the right woman to you, she is your best friend. Not your boy or your boys. They're not your best friend. Your mama is not your best friend. Adam clearly said, a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. And they're going to be one. So, brother, when God bring the right woman to you, there's no other woman, not even your mama. You could love your mama, but your woman that God brought to you, she is the number one woman in your life. There was some of you, brother, you need to understand that tonight. How you doing, sister Teresa Toomer? You got to understand that. Even, brother, if you had a daughter or daughters before you met your wife, when you get married, that woman is elevated as far as human relationship goes. She's elevated to the top of the line immediately after Jesus. So, brother, you got to understand this. There is no relationship or thing after Jesus but your woman. Nobody or nothing come before your woman or anything come before your woman but Jesus. If a whole bunch of brothers can understand this tonight, you will have a good woman and you will have a very, very successful, peaceful relationship. You see, brother, you know why that woman is supposed to be your best friend? Because she is you. When God brings a woman to you, brother, she is you. You're looking at yourself. When God brings a woman to you, you looking right at yourself, like you're looking in the mirror. Now, some of you saying, how can that be, Tony? Because the man and woman is one when God brings you together. And when you cross those three hurdles, being serious, committed, and in a covenant relationship, you, brother, and you, sister, are one. Now, men and women have different perspectives on being in a relationship, especially when it comes to being in love. Listen to me two more times. Men and women have different perspectives on being in a relationship, especially when it comes to being in love. Listen to me again, the third time. Men and women have a different perspective of being in a relationship, especially when it comes to being in love. And that's what we're talking about tonight. She needs to feel that you love her only. Remember, only, that's the key word for the night. Only her, not them, not nobody else, woman, but her. The woman that God brought to you, and you know it because you prayed for a woman. You didn't know who she was going to be, but God chose the best one for you. Brother, you could be in a relationship with men and women, but it ain't but one her. It's just one. It's just one. The one. The one. Now, what you got to understand this, brother, is the big difference on perspective when it comes to a relationship. You got to understand this one critical thing about a woman. Once you understand this one critical thing about a woman, you're on your way. The word is emotional. That's what you got to understand. Emotional. Emotional is defined as having feelings that are easily excited and open display. I'm going to say that 2 more times. Emotional is defined as having feelings that are easily excited and openly displayed. I'm going to say it 1 more time. Emotional. We're talking about a woman. We're talking about a feminine woman. We're not talking about a boss woman. We're not talking about an aggressive woman. We're talking about a very feminine woman. She is emotional. And it's defined as having feeling that easily excited and open display. Brother, when you have a good woman and that woman respect you, she's going to be easily excited when she see you, and you going to witness and you going to know because she's going to openly display it. If God bring a good woman to you, brother, she is your best friend. And what the Bible say about a friend, you know how you could tell whether a person your friend or not. The Bible clearly say that there's no greater love than for one to lay down his life for his friend. There's no greater love. You know, Whitney Houston had a song out years ago, The Greatest Love of All. Whitney Houston said, the greatest love of all is loving myself. That was a pretty song, but that ain't what real love is about. The greatest love is, according to the Bible, is when you lay your life down for your friend. So, brother, if you have a good woman, if you are not willing to take that bullet for your wife, that woman, you don't know what love is. CeeLo said, CeeLo had a song out by love. You all familiar with CeeLo, right? He had a song. It's a whole bunch of songs out there. Love, love, love. But there's the real love is when, just look at Jesus for an example. What did Jesus do to prove that he loved? Jesus gave his life for the world. And it's a free gift. Brother, you got to give your life for your woman. You got to walk in the footsteps of Jesus himself. You got to be willing to lay your life. If you're not willing to lay your life down for that woman that God brought into you, you are not worthy of that woman. You're not worthy of it. You don't just lay down your life for any woman, but that woman that God called to be your woman, and you one flesh, that's the woman. But keep in mind, women are emotional. So if a woman is emotional, you got to approach her based on her emotions, which means you got to understand how to have some empathy for her too. That means you got to feel. I know men are analytical. The only way you're going to be able to feel a woman, you have to have the Lord Jesus in you. There's no other way about it. If you want to feel your woman, if you really want to feel her, and I ain't talking about with your hand, if you really want to feel her, you got to have Jesus inside of you. Jesus got to come. Jesus got to be in you. He got to dwell in you. So Jesus understands this woman that he brought to you. So if Jesus understands this woman that he brought into your life, you don't have no instructions or how to deal with her. You don't have no instruction. Jesus is the only one that has the blueprint to that woman that he brought to you. Jesus is the architect. Jesus created the woman that he brought to you. So if Jesus created the woman that he brought to you, he's the architect. He has the blueprint. He has the design. So, and I always say that Jesus have to teach you. Jesus have to guide you. Jesus have to show you, brother, how to love the woman, how she needs to be loved. And how she needs to be loved, she feels. You see, women feel, then they know. Men don't operate that way. Men know, then they feel. You see, the opposite, even though we have souls, you see, men are more analytical based on facts. Women feel, then facts. Men facts, then feel. Once you understand the dynamic, brothers, you're on the way. Emotional. 7 points that I got to make tonight. When the Lord is in you, my brother, these are the 7 things that he's going to equip you with when it comes to loving only your woman. She needs to feel that you love only her. You see, when you only love her, the key thing is she can't have no doubt. Brother, you got to talk in such a way. You got to move in such a way so she don't feel that there's someone else. That's another critical thing, brother. She can't feel that there's no one else. If she feel that there's someone else that's getting some of these things I'm about to tell you, you are not going to get the fulfillment of that woman that God brought in your life. Number 1, give her attention. The number 1 thing is you got to give her attention. And I always go back to some of the parts of the 23rd Psalm. You know what? Where it said, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leadeth me beside green pastures and all that kind of stuff, right? And this is the best model, and I have touched on this before, but I'm going to go a little deeper tonight. So, brother, when it comes to your woman, you supposed to walk in Jesus' footsteps, okay? You got to walk in Jesus' footsteps. So if you walk in Jesus' footsteps, brother, you got to understand it. And I have said this before, but I'm going to get a little deeper tonight. You are just like a shepherd. You are not the good shepherd, but you are a shepherd. That woman to you, she is like a precious sheep. You know, when Jesus look at us as a sheep. So if Jesus look at us as a sheep, brother, you got to look at your woman as a sheep. So if you could picture this, you on your way. What does a sheep require? A sheep requires attention. You understand that? A sheep requires attention. If you don't give a sheep attention, guess what a sheep will do? A sheep will wander. A sheep will wander. So you got to give the sheep attention. Your woman attention, not no other man's woman attention, not other women. It's a lot for you to give her attention because you don't want her to wander. Because you see, the woman, the Bible clearly say this. It say that the woman is the weaker vessel. That's what the Bible said. It's not what Tony say. Peter addressed it. He said that the woman is the weaker vessel. This is not no shade to you, my sister, but the Bible clearly said that the woman is the weaker vessel. That's why Satan approached Eve before he approached Adam. The Bible clearly said that the man was not deceived. It said the woman was deceived. In her perfect state, Eve was deceived and she was perfect. So what do you think if a woman is not perfect? There's not one woman that was at Eve plateau at one time. Eve is the only woman that knew what it would like to be completely perfect. No other woman don't know what it's like to be perfect. No other man doesn't know like how it is to be perfect. So if Eve was misled, how was Eve misled? Adam was not paying enough attention to her. If Adam was paying enough attention to her, he was to intervene in that conversation with her and Satan, the serpent. I don't know. Adam could have been standing right there because the Bible clearly said when Eve ate this fruit, she gave it to the man that was with her. So even if Adam was standing there listening, he should have intervened. Now let's look at Jesus. Jesus look at us like sheep. I'm going to use this interchangeably, right, brother? So you got to look at your woman as a sheep. You got to give her attention. If you don't give her attention, what's going to happen? What does a shepherd look for? A shepherd look for to make sure everything is all right for his sheep. So you got to have a lot of attention, brother. If you don't give your woman attention, a woman craves attention. Now, some women crave more attention than others, but if it's your woman, it's your responsibility to give her attention. It's not no other man's responsibility to give your woman attention because she's going to get attention from other men anyway. But the real attention that she craves for is your attention. So, brother, if you're not ready for God to bring your woman, if you can't give her attention, you don't need a woman. You can't sign up for a woman if you can't give her attention. And you can't just give her attention here and there. You can't do that. It's work. You got to constantly work, just like a shepherd. A shepherd constantly watching over the sheep. I'm talking about the good shepherd. I'm talking about Jesus. So, brother, you got to consciously and consistently give your woman attention, which leads to number 2. You got to talk to her. Not only do you give her attention, you have to talk to her. And you have to talk to her hard. You got to be skilled in how to talk to her hard. Why do I say hard? Because women are emotional. So you got to be skilled and to know how to talk to her hard. Because I'm going to get back to that hard later on. But you got to understand. You see, when you give her attention, you talk into her. You don't talk to her. You talk into her. It's not you don't want your woman to hear you. You want her to listen to you. It's a big difference between hearing and listening. You see, your hearing, when it comes to your eardrum, all it does is get vibrations. But you see, the listening part is when you take in what is said and digest it so it could be applied. Speaking of that, let's talk about giving attention, and let's talk about talking to her. We're going back to the sheep illustration. That's what we're going to go to. We're going to go back to the sheep illustration. You know this about a sheep, my brother and sister. What a sheep does, what a good shepherd does. A good shepherd take a sheep to what the Bible say in Psalm 23, to green pastures, right? So when a good shepherd take a sheep to green pasture, why does it take it to green pasture? So the sheep can get filled up. So the shepherd is paying attention to the sheep and talking to the sheep, but the sheep is eating. So when the sheep is eating, a sheep has two stomachs, okay? A sheep has two stomachs. And it goes to, a lot of the food go to the second stomach, okay? So when it goes to the second stomach, the sheep is not going to rest unless it is comfortable. So the shepherd take the sheep somewhere to be comfortable. So it brings up the curd out of the second stomach. And what does the second stomach do? So when the sheep is relaxed, that's how you want your woman. You want her relaxed. When, like a sheep, what the sheep does, it brings up what the grass and stuff that the shepherd took the sheep in to fill up. So what does the sheep do? It brings up the curd and the eat. And while it's doing it, it's meditating. So you giving your sheep attention, your woman, and you talking to her. So she just like a sheep. Everything you have said to her, she's going to bring it up. She's going to meditate on it. And while she's meditating on it, she's comfortable and she's at peace. While you giving her attention and you're talking to her. So she's going to meditate on the things you say, which leads to number 3, make a lot of quality time to be with her. So while she is there relaxing, you are spending a lot of quality time with her. You giving her attention, you talking to her, and you making quality time for her because she's meditating. So what your woman is doing is this. She listening to what you say, and she also watching your action. She's putting together whether what you say and what you do are equal. Now, this is very critical, brother. Whenever you tell your woman something, you got to do it. It's very imperative and important. Whatever come out of your mouth, you got to do it. If you tell her that you're going to spend quality time with her, if you make time with her, you can't come up and say something took your attention. You can't do that. Anytime you give your woman your word, and if somebody else come with something else, even though you might want to do it, if you gave your woman your word, you got to go with your word towards your woman. You see, the very first thing, when you make a word to the Lord, you got to go through with it. Second, if you make a statement to your woman, you got to go with her. Everything you say, it got to be done, because you know what a woman would do. She's emotional. She's gonna watch and she's gonna listen. She's gonna put it on a scale. This is what he said, and this is what he did or didn't do. You want your action and you want your words to balance out. You never tell your woman something and you're not gonna come through, because she's gonna remember it. Women keep things in their hearts. When you tell a woman something, brother, it's just like you in court. You ever notice in court, when you look at it on TV or you've been to court, you have a jury over there, right? And if the prosecutor say something and the judge don't approve of what the judge tell the jury, disregard that, right? How can you disregard what was just said? You can't do it. That's just like your woman, brother. Whatever you say, you can't just say forget it. You can't do it. That's why you got to know how to talk to her while you're spending time and giving her attention. Now, when you spend a quality time with her, that's her time. You giving her your time, just like the Lord. The Lord always wants us to give him our time. So, brother, if you walking like the Lord, you got to give her time, and you want her to give you some of her time. Just like the Lord want to give us his time, he want us to give him some of our time. And the same thing with a woman, brother. If you walking like Jesus, you got to give her your time. If you want her to give you some time, you got to make time for her. Attention, you got to talk to her. When you talk to her, you got to talk with her with grace. Your words got to be soft when you talk to a woman. You got to be very conscious when you talk to your woman. Every word that you say, brother, before it come out of your mouth, it needs to be able to lift her up and encourage her. If you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say it at all. If you really pissed off at her for some reason, don't say nothing while you're angry. Whatever you do, brother, listen to what I'm saying. If you angry at your woman, don't ever talk to her while you angry or upset. Even if you get up and go to another room and she trying to get you to talk, don't talk to her at that time. If you have to get your car keys and leave and go somewhere to cool down, do it. Never talk to her while you're angry. Because if you talk to a woman while you're angry, you're going to say something. And when you say something, she listening to you, and women are emotional. And then if you say something, she's going to take it to heart, and she's going to hold it for a while. Even if you go tell her, I'm sorry for what I said, she might say, okay, that's okay, but it's still there. And it's going to take a while for, if you say something that they're going to hurt her or upset her, it's going to be there for a while. Even it could be weeks and all that kind of stuff. You thinking that everything is cool, but she might be acting like everything cool, but she still remember what you said. And not only does she remember what you said, she remember what you do. If you do something that's shady, she might say, okay, I'm good with it, but she's gonna remember, because you got to understand, even though she's a good woman, she's a human. And she's a human that got emotions. So if you don't want to if you can't deal with a woman's emotions, you are not ready for a woman. Because her feeling go up and down, up and down, up and down. That's why you need the Lord in you. So the Lord could put a watch over your mouth so you won't say things to hurt her. The only thing that you say that come out of your mouth is supposed to be uplifting, encouraging word, because she's your friend. Why do you want to hurt your friend? That's right. Sister Flo said, never talk to your woman, brother, while you're angry. That's right. Never do it, brothers. So you giving her your time, you talking to her with grace. Then you make all that quality time to be with her. You got to plan quality time. And you can't wait till holidays. You can't wait to anniversaries and all that kind of stuff. You can't wait till a birthday. You got to be consistent weekly. If you run your woman weekly, you got to set weekly time for her. She understands that you got to work. She understands that, but you got to set aside quality time. Even if you got children, you're going to have to get a babysitter or something, because you got to set quality time, only you and her. Not the children, not no one, only you and her. It's good, brother, if you take her to a restaurant or movie or something like that. But have you ever decided to just, you and her could just go walking somewhere together? You got to be thinking, where can I go where we really won't be distracted? If you have to go to a park or something like that, go somewhere in the park where she can admire the beauty and everything, but you want to be where it's just you and her. There's nothing wrong with a little picnic. There's nothing wrong with just saying, let's go. You just come home one day and said, let's go. She might ask where we're going. Just said, do you trust me? If she said yes, then said, let's go. If she needs a certain attire, you tell her, you tell her what she needs to take. And let her pat. You don't have to tell her everywhere you're going. Don't do it. Don't tell your woman everywhere you're going to take her. Does Jesus tell everyone everywhere? Does Jesus tell you step by step where he's going to take you? No, he give you a little insight sometimes. Now, you know you're going to be with him in the end, but you don't know what's going to happen between now and the end. It's an adventure. So don't tell her everything. Let it be a surprise sometime, brother. And don't be doing the same thing over and over again. Do some new things with her. Give her some different experience. They love experience. And here go another critical thing that a lot of you brothers, you don't understand. After you give your woman attention, after you talk to her, after you make quality time with her, here's a biggie. Don't never hide your woman. I got to drink some water on this one. How you doing, mother? Welcome to the dinner table. Never hide your woman. Some of you guys out there, you want to say that your life, you got a private life. You don't want nobody to know about your private life. Let's go to it from a spiritual standpoint. Jesus said this, and we talk about relationship. Jesus said this: if you are ashamed of me, this is the key word. If you are ashamed of me, if you deny me in front of men, I'm going to deny you in front of my Father and his angels. Look how deep that is. Jesus said, if you're ashamed of me. And he even went on to say, if you deny me. Jesus is going to show you what it's like to be denied. Because you see, you don't want to get to the end with Jesus and Jesus said, I never knew you. Because you see, if you don't want nobody to know you got no relationship with Jesus, you want to keep your relationship with Jesus on the down low. Nope. Jesus doesn't play that. Jesus wants you to let people know that you got a relationship with him. You can't be no undercover Christian, my brothers and sisters. You can't be undercover when it comes to Jesus. You got to let men know. You got to let women know that you got a relationship with the Lord. You ain't perfect. You're going to still make some errors and stuff, but you let people know based on how you talk and how you move, they're going to know that you're in a relationship with the Lord. You know how people are going to know that you're in a relationship with the Lord? When you love your brother. But in this case, when you love your woman, people are going to know. Let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. People know whether you love your woman or not, brothers. They know it. They know how you talk. They know how you move. And when they know how you talk and how you move, you don't hide her. It's on public display. When you love your woman, it's public. You don't care who know it. Don't you know, brother, a woman feel good when you don't hide her? How you think Jesus feel when you don't hide your relationship with him? Jesus feel good when you let people know I got a relationship with the Lord. You don't hide it. You don't care who know it. If you're afraid to let people know that you got a relationship with Jesus, you don't have a relationship with Jesus. Why are you hiding him? Why you want to have an undercover relationship with Jesus? The same thing with a woman. Why you want to have an undercover relationship with your woman? You never hide your woman. Why you got to hide your woman in a corner? Why you have to go way out and all that kind of stuff with a woman? Don't you know women, they want people to know, especially you say you got a relationship with, don't you know women want people to know that she got a relationship with a man? Don't you know a lot of time, not all the time, but most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, a woman want to introduce you to her family and friends. If a woman really loves you, brother, she wants to introduce you to her close family members and friends. When a woman really into you, women are willing to let other people know that she got a relationship with you than men do. Men are slower to do it than women. But when a man knows within his mind, when a man feels that she's the one, a man that knows and a man that feels that she's the one, he's not gonna hide her. Which leads to this. Don't you know, brother? Let me tell you something, brother. When you be out in public, people watch you, especially if you're a Christian, because you know you're a Christian, because your light gonna shine anyway. If she's a Christian, her light gonna shine. So the world gonna be looking at you. Let me tell you something, brother. What really could get a woman? When you out in public with a woman, and it's something very simple. Grab her by the hand. Grab her by the hand. Don't you know women love when their man take their hands? And it's something simple, brother. Women love it. If a woman in love with you, women love it when you hold her hand in public. Women love it when you do something simple as opening the door for her. Women love it like if you go into a restaurant and your face is facing the door. Women love it if you are walking on the street and you're on the outside and she's on the inside, because she knows that you are thinking about her and you got her best interest in heart. I have walked into some restaurant, my brother and sister, and you have done it too. Have you noticed this? If you haven't noticed it, if you're going out Friday, if you're going out Saturday, Sunday, if you go in a public place like a restaurant, check this out. When you go into a restaurant, the man that you see that got his back to the door, he don't care nothing about his woman. He doesn't care nothing about his woman, because if a man cared anything about his woman, he would be on shepherd patrol. What do I mean by shepherd patrol? You remember that I said I'm talking a little from the 23rd Psalm, right? What does a shepherd do? The shepherd watch over the flock. What the good shepherd, Jesus, he watch over the flock, right? Why does the good shepherd watch over the flock? Because of danger. So if a man is walking in Jesus' footsteps, he is going to be conscious of the surroundings, just like a shepherd is conscious of the surrounding. A man of God, he's going to be conscious of the surrounding. Now I'm telling you this, listen to me, sister and brother. If you go, I'm telling you, just as simple. If you go into a restaurant and you see a man back to the door, he doesn't care about his woman. He like her. He don't love her, because if he love her, he want her to be able to sit down, have a comfortable meal, and he watch over her. He's watching everything. I'm not saying that he's paranoid, but he is watching for trouble. Men that love their women, they're going to take care of their women. I'm going to get to that part shortly, but just listen to what I said. Going back, women love affection, public affection. Brother, do you know what public affection is like? Just show your woman public affection. If you show your woman public affection, you know what she's saying? Let me tell you what, people are going to be watching you. If you hold her hand, women are going to be watching you. if you hold her hand, men gonna be watching you. Some men will look at it like, why he got to hold her hand? What he trying to prove? What is that? You see, men that got a problem with public affection, they ain't got a problem about showing affection in the bedroom. So why they got a problem showing affection on the outside? Men that love their women, they don't mind. They don't even mind touching them in a small part of their back and stuff. I'm not saying being in public and then hitting her on the butt and lifting her big butt up. You don't do that kind of crap. You have to have some kind of respect. You know what I mean? If you want to hit a butt, you do that where nobody can't see it, okay? But you don't just be grabbing all on her butt and all that kind of stuff. Like, I see some people on social media and stuff, they grabbing their woman behind and stuff. That's so disrespectful. They ain't got nothing to do with affection. All they have to do with is lust. And then you got some women, they smiling because they man holding they behind. Both of them are clowns. The woman that allow man to touch her butt in public and let everybody see it like it's cute, that is so disrespectful. Very disrespectful. You're right, mother. It's very disrespectful. Don't hide your woman. Never hide your woman. If you hide your woman, you know another message you giving. More than likely, when a man hide a woman, you know what? That mostly means he probably is ashamed of her. Most men that hide women, more than likely, they ashamed of the woman. Or if they're not ashamed of the woman, they got some other stuff going on, like another woman or women. So you either going to be ashamed of the woman, you hiding her, or you got a woman or women and you don't want other people to see this. So why are you hiding the woman? And this what get me. A man and a woman, they're in the same city. You in the same city. Why, if you're in the same city, you got to take her to another city to be with her? Unless you hiding her from somebody or somebody's, or you're ashamed of her. Don't you know most women, and a sensible woman would think this, why we have to go far out to go out? And some women, why the only time you want to see me is at 12 a.m. in the morning? Why you only want to see me when it's dark? Why you only want to see me on your schedule? Why you don't want to see me sometime on my schedule? Why you know my people, but I don't know your people? Why you know my friends, but I don't know your friends? Number 5, touch her. Touch her. You giving her attention. You talking to her with grace and uplifting and encouraging word. You purposely make a lot of quality time to be with her. You don't hide her. Now touch her. It goes, and I'm just going beyond just the hand thing. Now touch her. If you touch your one brother, a lot of time, let me tell you something. You know the neck flick and chill and all that kind of stuff. Nothing wrong with it. You could be at home, brother. Some of the stuff that she likes to look at, you might not like it. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm telling you something, brother. You might not like it. But if you know your woman likes certain things, if she in a room, like, let's say she's sitting up in the bed looking at a program like what? The cooking channel, the what? Buying houses, buying all that kind of stuff. Some stuff that you ain't even into. and she into it. Learn what she's into. You got to understand it, brother. Learn what your woman is into. You supposed to learn your woman, brother, but just like you got to count. You want to learn your woman just like the Lord said. He know the numbers of hairs on your head. That's how in depth you need to learn your woman. You got to learn your woman like you count the hairs on her head. You got to learn all the little things she like, as well as what she dislike. If she like in a room looking at one of those shows that you don't like, what you could do, and this gonna knock her off her feet. If she like sitting up in the bed, you see this right here, like with this remote control, right? If she's sitting in the bed with the remote control just flipping through, and then you see her with the remote control, and she stop on a channel, and she all into it. If you come back there, why don't you could say something like, what is that you looking at? Even though you see what you're looking at, because you're trying to engage in a conversation. Say, what is that you're looking at? And she'll tell you. And then you say, wow. And then what you do, you if she's sitting up in the bed or laying in the bed, you get up, you lay in the bed. Now, some women, this is what some of them will do. You might be looking at football or something on another TV, right? So some women, this is what they'll do. You get in the bed, and some women, they would say, what channel was the football game on? You see, when they say what channel the football game on, they want to change it to the football game because you there with them. But what you said did, nope, don't change the football channel. Let's look at what you want to look at. They'll blow away. Because most women, they're going to try to please the man. Most women, good women that is, good women try to please the man a lot. Okay? Good women, good women go all out of their way for a man that they're in love with. Good women, they will. So the average woman, if you're looking at a football game or something, and she's in another room, and you go and you're going to sit there, and she's going to instantly probably turn the TV. Most of them, but you said don't turn the TV. Let's look at what you want to do. And let me tell you something, my brothers and sisters. Let me tell you this. Like that woman up there, she could be in the room looking at something on TV, right? I would go in the room and I would look at what she's looking at sometime, and then I could get up there and sit up in the bed or whatever with her, or we could be in another room. And I could start looking at some of that stuff she's looking at. And you know what? I found myself start liking some of the stuff that I didn't think I would like, what she liked. But you see, the thing about it is I'm spending time with her. I'm doing something that she likes. You got to understand. And while you're doing something what she likes, then you touch her. And the touching does not have to lead to physical you know what I'm talking about. It don't have to lead to the monkey dance. It just the present, brother. If you with your woman and you touching her and she looking at something, she looking at something that she like, beautiful. Or brother, what you could do, initiate it sometime. You could call her by the name. Like, for example, I could say, hey, Cinderella, come in for a moment. She come, I said, why don't you look at this with me? And she sit down and look at it. They're not saying she like it or dislike it. It's the thing about it's there, and then you touch. You could hug, you could hold hands, you could throw your leg over the person because you're touching. Everything doesn't have to lead to sex, okay? Number 6, at that particular time, remember what's on the menu. She needs to feel that you love only her. Number 6, this is a key. She has to feel secure. That's a key thing, brother. She has to feel secure. What do I mean by that? Protect and provide. Do not get in a relationship with no woman if she can't feel, if she doesn't feel secure. You don't want to get in a relationship with a woman and she's scared that the light's gonna get turned off. because she don't know whether you paid the bill. Or the water gonna get cut off. You ain't paid the bill. You got the money, but you ain't paid the bill. You're not responsible. You got to show the woman that you are responsible. You want your woman, brother, like this. You want to take care of everything so she don't have to take care of nothing. You want your woman, brother. Now, it ain't nothing wrong if she does something as far as, you know, because you got to understand the woman is the helpmeet now, right? So let's say, for example, brother, you marry a woman and you paying the mortgage or the rent, the heavy stuff, right? She might buy the grocery or do something minor, you know what I mean? Something real minor. She don't even have to know how much the note is. You ain't got to go around telling your woman, this is how much the mortgage is. This is how much the rent. Just do it. You ain't got to put your Nikes on and say, just do it. Just do it. She don't even need to worry about that kind of stuff. How much this cost, how much that, whatever it is, brother, you got to make a way to make it happen. You don't want your woman worried about her security. She needs to feel secure. When your woman feels secure, you giving her attention, you talking to her, you making quality time with her, you don't hide her, you touching her. Now she wants to feel secure. Once your woman feels secure, you levering up, which leads to the final thing. If you're doing all this other stuff, the key thing here, brother, you want your woman hard to smile. Before that big smile come on her face, you want her hard to smile. My mama said, yeah, you were talking about your daddy. I'm glad my mama brought that up. Let me tell you about my daddy. My dad, before he was deceased, and my mama would tell you this, before he was deceased, he took care of all that heavy stuff. My mama didn't know how much the bill, basically the bill was. She knew what she did, the small stuff, but my dad did that big stuff. And when my dad did the big stuff, and he deceased now, and my mama would say all the time, she missed the presence of my father, okay? She missed the presence of my father, but my mama did not know a lot of stuff daddy was doing. Even something as simple as getting the trash can, moving it from the back of the house and putting it out there in the street. Little small stuff. She realized that more. She realized it then, but more because he gone now. He passed away, so now she know it. You see what I'm saying? And you know what, my brother said? They go for any man or any woman. If you have a good relationship, you never know the totality or how much you miss a person until that person is gone. That person may get on your nerves sometime. You may get on that person's nerve. But if you love that woman, brother and sister, if you love that man, and if the Lord take that man away or that woman away, and that was the one, you never know how much you love that person until that person is gone. And you know what? Nobody can take the place of someone that you were in love with. Most people, they may go through several types of relationships. However, you do not love the person the same. You don't love everybody on the same level. There's gonna be one person. You may call yourself in love with more than one, maybe two or three, but there's always going to be that one that you were in love with. You're going to remember that person that you were really in love with. Like I say, you might be in love 1, 2, or possibly 3 times, but it's always going to be that one, the one that you was in love with. Like I said at the top of our dinner, on the menu, she needs to feel that you love only her. You see, brother, if you do these 7 things and you leave no doubt in that woman's mind where she feel threatened by, especially, you want me to tell you one of the biggest threats, what a woman threat or what a woman feel. She don't want to feel like she competing with another woman or women. You don't never want her to think that there's another woman. I'm telling you, brother, you don't never want her to think even a little bit that there's another woman or women. You don't never want her to get to that point. You want her to get to the point, like I said, point 7, where her hard smile. When you get a woman that hard smile, she's not going to want to be in the streets. If you get a good woman and you hit no point, she don't want to be in the street. She might go out with her friends or hang out sometime with her family and stuff like that, but she's not going to be gone long. If you got a good woman, brother, she is not going to be all in the clubs all the time with her girls. She don't do that. If you got a good woman, she gonna look at it. Why do I need to be in the clubs? If I want to dance, I could be at home, dance with my husband. He know how to do the 2-step. Let me tell you this, and what I'm about to say, some people aren't going to like it. Some people aren't going to like it. When you see a man or a woman that hang out at clubs a lot, and they supposed to be in a relationship, it's a problem there. I'm not saying you can't entertain yourself, but when you see a man or a woman if you see a man hanging with men all the time, if you see a woman hanging with women all the time, it's a problem. If they say they're in a relationship, it's a problem. Because if a man got a good woman, he's gonna make sure that he giving quality time with his woman. And the vice versa, the woman gonna make sure she's spending quality time with her man. You all remember, I have said it before. There was a song that Jill Scott had a long time ago. In the song, Jill Scott told her girls this. She said, her man is coming by. I'm trying to paraphrase it. She told her girl, you know, I like to shake my thing, but my man is coming. And then you got this other young lady. Her name was Shantae, something like that. You all remember Shantae? She had a song out where she was telling her friends about this man. She let her friends know that this man was the man. She let her girlfriend know that he had priority over them. And the same thing with a man. And I have told you this before, my brother and sister. I like going to look at live football games. I got this friend, Ellison. Ellison gets some good tickets sometimes. If Ellison, you looking at it, brother, if you could come up with some tickets soon, I'm ready to go again. He could come up with some good tickets. And we sit up there where they have the good food and stuff at. They got the TVs and they have all that good food and stuff. But you know what? Like for example, say if Ellison called me. Let's say today is Thursday. Let's say Ellison called me to spur of the moment, like Friday or Saturday or something like that, and he probably would say, brother, or he'll say Belichick. He called me Belichick because he know I used to love the New England page. He'll say, Belichick, hey, you want to hit the road and go to the football game? I instantly want to say, yeah, I want to do it. I say, that sounds like a good idea. I said, let me get back with you. What I do, I go talk to her. I talk to her. I don't get permission from her. I don't have to get no permission from her. I go to talk to her because you know what? She could have had plans that I didn't know about. So what I would do, I would say, Cinderella, I said, do you have is there anything you got planned for us to do Sunday? If she say no, I said, well, Ellison got some football. I said, Ellison got some football tickets and he want me to, He want me to go to the game with him. And you know what she say? Yeah, go ahead and have a good time. So when we get to the football stadium, I get the phone, and it's not like I'm trying to prove nothing. I get the phone, she'll see me and Ellison sitting there at the football game or something, looking at the game. She'll see it. And if she tell me that she got something to do, I'm cool with it. But you see, the thing about it, I don't live in the streets. The thing about it, she don't live in the streets. Most of the time, when it comes to the street, we together. Every now and then, she might do something with her family or friend, and every now and then, I might do something with my family or friend. But most of the time, we together doing stuff. But my brother and sister, if you see a man or a woman that's supposed to be in a relationship and they hanging out more with their girl, like if a woman hanging out more with her girls, or this man hanging out more with his boy, and he's supposed to be in a relationship with a woman, and she's supposed to be in a relationship with a man, that's a problem. That is a major problem, because you see, when it comes to a relationship, it's Jesus first, and if you're married, it's your mate second. Not nobody else. None, not nothing. Brothers, she needs to feel that you love her only. That's what I want you to take away, my brother. She needs to feel that you love her only. You don't want not one doubt going through your woman's mind where she question your love for. You don't never want a woman to question your love for. You don't never want a woman to ask you this: do you love me? You'll never want a woman to say, do you love me? You know why? Because your words and your action been consistent. She would know it. When a woman feel that you love her, guess what? The next thing, she would know it. So you want her to feel it, and you want her to know it. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. I hope that you all got something good out of the dinner table tonight. I love you. I love you. I love you. You all have a good night. Those of you that are on the tube and the book, make your comments, like and share. Those of you that are on the tube, you hit that notification. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe and hit that notification. But you all have a good night. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. Peace out.